So let's talk about the word connection, which means to be in relationship to or something joined to. So basically it means to be committed to something or someone, or to be joined to someone. So when we were raising our beautiful, wonderful 3 girls and amazing 3 boys, we had our modern day Brady Bunch. We wanted to teach them the importance of relationships, but also the value of having relationships. We came up with this plan, and the plan was to teach them that trust is essential in every relationship, but specifically in friendships. So we shared with them that they would develop these various different types of relationships. But the most important relationship they probably have is friends. And that we wanted to impress upon them that all friends are not equal, which you probably already figured that out. That friends are someone you can trust. We told them that a friend is not only someone you could trust, but you could tell them the good and the bad. A friend is also someone that would defend you in rooms that you're not even in. That's what a friend does. You could trust them with the truth regardless of what it may be. That when life is throwing you punches, they're willing to take a punch for you. That's a friend. Now, I'm sure your friend list just shrunk quite a bit. A true friend is not only just a rock for you. Now, an associate, which is another form of friend, they're not bad people. You could hang out with them, go to the movies with them, do whatever you want with them, but it's just not at a deeper level. I didn't realize of everything I was teaching my kids that one day I would need to teach it to myself. So let's call this part of my story trauma. I was raised in an amazing home, 2 amazing parents, amazing siblings, even though at times, they get on your nerves. But around the age of 9, I was sexually abused by someone outside of my family. And it went on for several years. And then as an adult, I experienced abuse as well, physically and verbally. I wasn't aware of the impact the trauma had on me as a child, as an adult, and some of the decisions I made, even the friends I made. The confusion haunted me for 38 years. Because for 38 years I hid it as if it never happened. I disassociated myself from all that happened to me as a child. Until one day, it came out. And it came out with a vengeance. All the shame and pain I felt as a child came back. I was that little boy again. But this time I had the pain of an adult abuse on top of that. The shame, the confusion, the pain. When it surfaced, it was deafening. And as a man, I felt less than. It felt like my soul was taken from me. But now I've found myself faced with both the abuse as a child and the abuse as a man. I knew I could not share this with everyone. Because when I did share it, I was told, oh, that happened a long time ago. Oh, move on. You man up. Yeah. Those were my so-called friends. I realized everyone I had a connection with wasn't my friend. Somewhere down the line, I forgot the lessons that I taught my kids by the friends and associates. Somewhere I got them mixed up. And I really needed a friend. I need someone I could trust. Now, I had this long list of friends, but ultimately, I realized they were more like associates than friends. I began to ask myself, who can I trust? Who in the past had trusted me with their pain? And as I went through that process, I realized that my list was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Then I finally found my circle. You know, those who, you know, when you call them and to tell them that you're depressed, that you feel ashamed, they will give me reassurance. They say it's not my fault what happened to me, and that I'm loved. Excuse me. When I would share with them my suicidal thoughts, and I didn't want to live anymore, they would tell me that I'm priceless and that I'm loved. See, then I've learned the lessons that I taught my kids, friends, and associates. I realized the relationships to whom I called associates were not equipped to handle my pain. Let's call this part of my story addiction. You know, without the self-love and self-awareness and self-care, it led me to addictions, to drugs and alcohol. It affected every aspect of my life, my character, my integrity. But the one thing it affected the most was the relationship with my children. Being a father is the most important thing to me. I have amazing kids. Again, my friends allowed me to share the darkness that was living in me. They would speak to that dark place in my life. And they would do it with love and compassion. I knew I could trust them with the darkness of my life. And they would speak to that dark part. You know, every connection you and I will ever have will produce something and cultivate something in our lives. So let's call this last part of my story life-changing. We all have had or will have a moment in time that will be life-changing. Mine was July 30th. On the afternoon of July 30th, 2024, I had a stroke that led directly to a heart attack. That day forever changed my life. Excuse me. You know, I didn't have to go looking for my friends. They came looking for me this time. They prayed for me when I couldn't pray for myself. They stood for me when I didn't want to stand at all. See, a true friend will show up without even asking. So my question for you, who are your friends and who are your associates? I know that question has you pondering. You know, as my life has evolved, I realized that everyone was not meant to go with me through my journey. Oh, I forgot to tell you about another group. And this group is called the Not Needed Group. And I'm sure you're thinking about 5 of them right now. You know, they have a role to play as well. They remind us that we need to be careful who we share our pain with. You know, so I'm sitting here with my phone. And it is full of friends, associates, and some of the Not Needed group. So I'm going to ask you something. What is in your phone? Or do you even know what's in your phone? So I think you should check your phone. Because we all have that contact list. So you remember when I defined the word connection as means to be joined to or committed to something or someone in relationship with. Friends and associates. Thank you.